Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a very different style of video than what you're used to seeing here on NerosCinema. We're going to be doing a Q&A. This is something I used to do a lot of. In fact, I had a whole series called Dear Nero that had like 250 episodes. Like every single Wednesday, there'd be a new Q&A up here on the channel, and I stopped doing that a while ago because, to be honest, like while there's so many questions out there in the world, a lot of them were like repeat questions. The episodes kind of blended together. So now I like to do them every now and then, kind of sporadically, and I promised you guys earlier this month that I would actually do one. So without further ado, albeit a bit late, here's another Q&A for you guys to listen to while you play games and whatnot. And if you guys didn't know, Shipment and 10v10 are now back in Modern Warfare 2. So if you're looking to do the camo grind, now's the time. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it with the first question, which is going to be coming in from Darth Musk, who writes, Dear Nero, if Modern Warfare 2 launched like Vanguard with 16 maps, would the community have been fine with the drought of content up until February 15th/March? No, I do not think having like a number of launch day maps is going to be any excuse for horrible post-launch support. Yes, it would have been nice to have more original maps at launch and like more content to engage with when Modern Warfare 2 first came out, but that's no excuse for having a content drought that lasted like 3 months. Because if you think about the COD cycle, right, when the new game comes out, the player base just skyrockets, everyone's playing the game, they're trying out the new maps and new guns, they're grinding camos, they're leveling up, they're all typically having fun. But then COD tends to fall off after the first couple of months. Call it like, you know, maybe late December, early January, the game starts to fall off a little bit because people are so used to all the maps that they've had at launch, all the guns they've had at launch, and so post-launch support is paramount. And it's not even just a COD thing, it's every game in general now. Like, games as service is like a term that gets thrown around a lot, but it's important nowadays. It really is, because every single game developer, every studio, every publisher, they're all fighting to keep your eyes on their game as long as possible, because that's how they make their money, right? And so if you have horrible post-launch support, it doesn't matter how many maps you had at launch, unless it's like 50 or something like that, right? If you launch a game with 12 or 16 maps, sure, that's good, and it's nice to have that content when you're first dipping your toe into the game, but you still need those post-launch support updates, you know, the new seasons, the season reload, the new maps coming out, the new guns, new things to get excited about, because that's what keeps people playing. And Call of Duty seems to have lost that. Gosh, I don't know, the last couple years, actually. If you look at Vanguard and you look at Modern Warfare 2, they just seem to have forgotten all of that. I'd say Black Ops Cold War had some content droughts as well, so I'm really hoping, I doubt it, but I'm hoping that with Sledgehammer's upcoming game, they kind of figure out that post-launch support is very important. And we have seen in the past that Call of Duty will sometimes cut a lot of base content from like the actual game itself and then repackage it as post-launch content, which is not the way to go either. The only way to like really have fans really engage with the game and really like fall in love with it, I think, is to have a lot of great content right there at the very beginning of the game, right there at launch, and then follow it up with great post-launch support. We haven't had a proper game like that in a long time that had adequate launch content and then adequate post-launch content. And hopefully they figure it out with Sledgehammer's game, or at the very least, hopefully they figure it out with Treyarch's game in 2024. But, you know, going back to it, 16 maps at launch is good, and I hope that we see that kind of as the standard going forward. The next question is coming in from Steven Butts, what a name, who writes, Dear Nero, given the present push with Warzone being the premier version of Call of Duty, do you see core maps being replaced or phased out in time? I personally have no interest in Warzone, and I would hate for that to happen. Bring back old school map packs. I would drop $20 on that. That could be an entire video in and of itself, to be honest, but I'm going to try and keep this short. I don't think that map packs at this day and age are the move. I think there would be a lot of pushback. I don't think they would sell that well. I think they fragment the community. I think that the cons outweigh the pros of the old antiquated map pack system. That being said, the pros of the map pack system are that every couple of months you get a giant content drop, right? You're getting like, you know, 4, maybe 5 maps added to multiplayer at one time, zombies on top of that, or Spec Ops or whatever. There is a pro to that as well, but I think the best way to do this is just to simply increase the post-launch support, man. Like, if you think about like all the maps that we would get in the older CODs, you know, think of it 4, maybe 5 maps over 4, sometimes 5 DLCs. That's like 20, 25 post-launch maps that would happen. And occasionally they do pull that off. I think I'd have to go back and count, but I think in Modern Warfare 2019, they actually did have a number of post-launch maps. And if you added them all together, it did actually turn out pretty well. But a lot of those maps are kind of backloaded into like season season 5, season 6 even, and by that point in the game, and they have the metrics at their studios, they know this to be true, by that point most of the player base is just checked out. We just played the beta for the upcoming game, we're all thinking about the upcoming game. People don't tend to really give a shit what happens in season 5 and season 6. That's why we didn't even get a season 6 in Vanguard, for crying out loud, right? So what they should do, in my opinion, and obviously I'm no developer, I'm no publisher, I don't really, I just know this from the perspective of a player and somebody who's been covering the franchise for a while. They need to front load most of that content. Like season 1 should not be like, yo, we brought back Shipment, aren't you guys happy? No, season 1 should be like, yo, we brought back Shipment, we brought back this, and we also, here are 2 original maps as well. Here's 4 maps in season 1, and we'll throw another map or 2 in the season 1 reloaded, just to really front load that content, you know what I mean? So we have all, going back to the previous question, so you have all the content of the base game, and then season 1 drops, maybe call it like 3 maps like right away with season 1, 3 more maps with season 1 reloaded, and you don't have to keep that same kind of momentum every single season. Maybe with season 2, do something similar, but season 3 maybe drop it down to just a couple of maps like they're doing right now. They don't have to go completely crazy with it, but I think front loading the content is the move as compared to trying to space out a couple of maps throughout the entirety of the post-launch cycle. If you really think about it, man, like we have 1 post-launch original map so far in Modern Warfare 2. We're 6 months in. That is not a recipe for success. It just isn't. And I'm sure there are plenty of maps that they have planned. I think Gunfight is going to be coming in season 3, therefore face-off maps maybe returning as well. Sure, that might be cool, but how many people already checked out? They should have front-loaded that stuff into the post-launch support as compared to just trying to space it out and drip-feed people content over the course of an entire year. So I don't think map packs are the move. I also don't think Warzone may even be the move anymore. Like, call me crazy, but just looking at like the player count numbers that we talked about in yesterday's videos, like holy hell, man, like Warzone is down bad compared to a number of the other battle royales out there. And who knows? I mean, I know a lot of people love Warzone. They don't want to see Warzone die, but maybe with Warzone's like decline in quality ever since Warzone 2 and definitely a decline in the player base, I mean, maybe they're gonna start focusing on multiplayer again. I think that'd be fantastic, but of course we'll have to wait and see how that's actually gonna play out. The next question is coming in from Ben, who writes, Dear Nero, would you consider doing YouTube shorts? I'm terrified of doing YouTube shorts or really anything different here on the main channel. Most of you guys know my channel got hijacked last month and that just lost 20,000 subs, haven't been able to gain those subs back. Views are starting to slowly get back to where they were, but I'm just nose to the grindstone trying to like rebuild the channel after that hijacking, man. Like I'm sitting here like doing almost 2 videos a day and like I'm just doing what I can, and the idea of YouTube shorts scares me because I'm already trying to, like, not to sound like super nerdy or whatever, but I'm like trying to get myself back into the algorithm here. I'm trying to get my videos in the recommended page again for people to remember, like, oh yeah, NerosCinema exists, that guy I used to watch forever ago, then he fell off. Like, I'm trying to get back to those people. I'm trying to get like as many eyeballs on my videos as possible, and the idea of YouTube shorts could help with that, but at the same time I'm just scared that uploading shorts is gonna, people are gonna be turned off at having shorts being in their sub box. Maybe they're not gonna like that kind of a thing. Maybe it will mess with the algorithm somehow. People say it won't, but those same people are also the ones that told me that I would gain all my subs back after my channel got reinstated. So I'm not entirely sure what happens. I'm scared to like do different kinds of content like that here on the channel. I'm trying to just kind of stay in my lane right now. But I will say I have an entire second channel. It's weird. It has 2 URLs. You can type in NerosCinema 2, or you can type in Nero's Let's Plays. Either or, it'll take you to the same channel. It's another channel I've been messing around with over the course of the past 10 years. And there's like 1,500 videos on there, but I just started uploading like Call of Duty Secret shorts, basically. Like the idea of like COD Secrets, like little bits of, little known information about the COD franchise. Like, do you remember, for example, the MP40 kill streak that was going to be in the original Black Ops that we could find in the game files, complete with audio files and everything? Like, so I show stuff off like that in short form, which I think is kind of interesting. I think there's like 4, maybe 5 of them up right now. And yeah, I'm going to be doing a bunch of more YouTube shorts on the second channel, which, yeah, I think that'll be good for now. Will I ever do them on the main channel? I don't know. Again, I don't like change. It terrifies me. The next question is going to be coming in. Oh, this is a doozy from Nick, who writes, Dear Nero, taking hope, all right, taking hope out of the equation, do you think, in all caps, Call of Duty will go back to its roots and be fun and enjoyable again, or do you think moving forward we are going to see more CODs like Vanguard and Modern Warfare 2 being broken and boring the entire time? Now, this is an interesting question, man, because like it's so hard to not say hope here. Do I think it will go back to its roots and be enjoyable? I'm gonna give you a straight up yes and no. There's two sides of the coin here, right? Going back to its roots and being fun and enjoyable can mean a couple of things. Will you ever be 16 years old again, playing Modern Warfare 2 with the boys after school, staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning, waking up at 6 to get ready for school, thinking, good God, why did I stay up so late? And then as soon as you get home from school, you get right back on Modern Warfare 2 and you grind with the boys like all night long? That sounded weird, but you know what I mean? Like, will you ever go back to that? No. That's the problem. That's kind of something I struggle with as well. Dude, I'm in my 30s now, you know, and I remember when I started playing this series, I was a 15, 16-year-old playing COD 4, playing World at War with my friends, you know, Modern Warfare 2, the original Black Ops with all the guys I met online, and like, oh, like those are some of the best times. I'll never forget those memories. They are literally priceless. So will COD ever go back to that? No, because we grow as people and we'll never be that carefree, you know. I mean, some of you maybe, but I definitely have an older viewership here on my channel, but maybe some of you are still in high school. But for the vast majority of us, we're never going to be that carefree high school kid again, just playing COD with the boys. Like, that's not going to be a thing that can happen again because we're old and got to pay bills and stuff now. But on the flip side of that, the other side of the coin, do I think it will ever be fun and enjoyable again going forward, or is it going to be just like Vanguard and Modern Warfare 2? I think yes, and it's hard to not say the word hope. I'm trying so hard not to say it, but I think it will, based on what we know right now with the Microsoft acquisition of Activision. Microsoft is putting up so much money to get access to COD. Obviously, they get all of Activision Blizzard, and as a result of that, they're going to get access to all of the Activision Blizzard IPs, but Call of Duty is the thing that they're talking about the most, right? And as a result of that, I think if they're putting up that much money and they're making all these promises about exclusivity and stuff, I think that they really want the series to thrive. I think this, I said in yesterday's video, I think they want the series to be more than what it has become. You know what I mean? And so as a result of that, yes, I do think that COD will get better in the future if that acquisition goes through. So I tried my best not to say hope throughout that entire thing, but going back to it, I really do hope that all goes through, and I hope it plays out the way I think. But usually if I hope for something, it never ends up happening. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see how that is going to play out, ladies and gentlemen. The next question is going to be coming in from Art. Oh gosh, this guy used to be in all my old Dear Neros, so I can never pronounce his name. Give me a second. Arcrosin. Acrosin? Arcrosin, Acrosin? I'm so bad pronouncing names online, man. But he writes, Dear Nero, do you have any plans on updating your top 10 maps, guns, / kill streaks videos and covering the CODs between then and when your top 10s were uploaded? Or do you think they hold up to this day? All the best, Acrosian, formerly Draconian. All right, now I remember you. But yeah, so I did my first top 10 video was top 10 guns in Call of Duty history. I'm pretty sure, I have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure that video came out in 2015. There's been 8 years worth of different guns that have come out since then. Kill streaks as well, maps as well, top 10 worst maps, worst guns. Maybe I did worst perks, which like 6 of the 10 were World at War perks, because I mean, I was trying to be objective. I really was. I like my top 10 videos. I really do. I think they're very fun to put together. They're very time consuming. They definitely take a lot longer, a lot more research, a lot more editing and stuff like that. But I think it would be fun to do like more top 10s in the future, because again, you're right, it's been a long time since I've done like top 10 guns, top 10 maps, top 10 whatever, and people may look at a top 10 as if it's gospel, as if your opinion will never change. Dude, opinions change almost every day, you know. So whatever my top gun back in the day, I think it actually might have been the M16. The M16 is still one of my favorite guns in COD history. Would I call it my favorite ever? I don't know, because while it was awesome in games like COD 4, Modern Warfare 2, yeah, that's pretty much it. Now that I think about it, why do they always like gimp the M16? Like Black Ops 4's M16 is god awful. Modern Warfare 2's M16 is god awful. Modern Warfare 3's M16 was also pretty bad. It was outshined by the Type 95. I wanted to call it the FAMAS, but it was outshined by the Type 95 in like every possible way. Like they don't want the M16 to be good in COD. I wonder why that is. So that used to be one of my favorite guns. when I made the video 8 years ago, but it might still be a top 10 gun for me now, but I don't know. Maybe we can do some top 10s in the future if you guys would be agreeable to it. The next question is going to be coming in from Schwartzy, who writes, Dear Nero, can you stream more? Maybe New World. So my friends and I all kind of stopped playing New World. It was really cool when it first came out, and I enjoyed it, but I don't know, we just kind of like, we all kind of like phased out of the game, you know. Now I think Tate might play it now and then, but in general, New World just isn't for me. But can I stream more? Absolutely. If you guys didn't know, I started streaming again. I love how there's a question that I can turn into a promotion, but yeah, I started streaming again. It's twitch.tv/NerosCinema. I've been streaming almost every day for at least a couple of hours, grinding for Orion camo and stuff, and now that shipment is back, I'll definitely be streaming a lot more, finishing up those challenges, following the spreadsheet. I'm like 73% of the way through to Orion. So yeah, I've been streaming a lot more. Right now it's mostly been COD, but there's definitely gonna be other games in the future, which, let me scroll here. I'm literally reading these questions off Twitter like as I record this, and so I'm trying to find this one question I just saw because it relates to the last question. I should be a good YouTuber to edit this out, but you know what? I'm absolutely not going to do that. There it is. The next question is gonna be coming in from Miami Mark, another longtime viewer here on the channel. It's crazy, dude. Like, the people that are in my Twitch streams, the people that like would submit questions for Dear Nero, and how even the people just like comment on my videos on like a regular basis. Like, I remember your guys' names. Like, as long as you don't change them up on me, then it gets confusing. But it comes in from Miami Mark, who writes, Dear Nero, what games are you most excited about in the upcoming year or so? So assuming we're not talking about COD, the games I'm most excited for are basically just two. I haven't really looked too much into what games are coming out, but Starfield for sure. It sucks that Microsoft did what they did and that they're going to be making Starfield like a PC and Xbox exclusive, but I have a PC so I can play it. It's going to be Bethesda's first like new universe, a new RPG game. Well, it's their first new universe in like 25 years. They do RPGs, but it's going to be a new RPG game. It looks pretty cool. We saw like the reveal of it. I'm excited for it. I hope it's good. I hope it's not a big flop. And the other game would be a sequel. It's going to be City Skylines 2. If you guys never played it, man, it is one of the most relaxing, like, but also engaging and entertaining games. I used to stream that game all the time. Basically, if you ever played like SimCity back in the day, it's SimCity on crack. Like, picture like a city builder game like SimCity, if you've ever played that, and then expand upon it like 10 times and make it way more in-depth and way more detailed. Like, the game will hold your hand when you first start playing. It'll give you an idea of like what you need to do and how things work, but literally, like, your city just doesn't have water. You have to like build them access to water and then lay the water pipes throughout your city so everyone has access to the water itself. If you're playing in a snowy biome, you have to like provide heating for people, you have to provide electricity for people, sanitation, whether it's going to be landfills or garbage trucks or you know, all sorts of stuff like that. There's so much to it. I could go on and on about how awesome that game is and how fun it is to start off as a tiny little town off the interstate and then just build into this amazing giant city with so many features. And like, I don't know, I've built so many cities in that game and I'm never satisfied with any of them. It's one of those games where you just want to keep on playing, like, you know, going back to the old like Civilization stuff, like, you know, one more turn. It's not turn-based, you can just keep playing as long as you want, but they have so many DLCs out for the original City Skylines. It's a really good game. I really enjoy it, and City Skylines 2 is apparently coming out at some point this year, so I'm pretty excited about that. So those are the games I'm most excited for. I feel like this video is going to go on too long. I don't want this to be like a 40-minute video because my render times have not been fantastic. So let's pick out a couple more questions and then we're going to wrap this up here. It's not Billy Goat 57, it's Billy Goat 567 who writes, Dear Nero, do you actually think a remaster of Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, the original Modern Warfare 2, or Modern Warfare 3 would actually be received well in this day and age? Yes and no, depends on the game. So okay, I'm going to preface this by saying that they have a very small window of time to actually do this, by the way. So if they're going to remaster a game like Black Ops 1, for example, which came out in 2010, 13 years ago, they need to do it sometime soon. Because if, let's say hypothetically, it's 7 years in the future, it's now 2030, and they want to release a remaster of the original Black Ops, which at that point is 20 years old, that thing was probably going to flop. As good as Black Ops 1 is, if it's a 20-year-old game, people are probably going to forget all about it, and it's not going to sell as well as it could. Same is true of like Black Ops 2. So I think Black Ops 1 and 2 as proper remasters would just, they would do well. I think especially right now, especially considering Treyarch is, you know, a couple years out from their game, I think that right now a remaster of Black Ops 1 or Black Ops 2 would do fantastic. I think those games on their own with updated graphics, upgraded hit detection, and then maybe give it the post-launch support and maybe add a couple of extra things like they did back in Modern Warfare Remastered, then yeah, I think those games would do well. The original Modern Warfare 2, however, would not do well. It would not. I've talked about this so many times, man. The game was busted. I love the original Modern Warfare 2, but now I'll put a link to the video down there in the description if you guys want to watch that after this one, feel free. They need to introduce Robert Bowling's Forgotten Patch, which I have whole videos on this, but to quickly try and summarize it, Robert Bowling was the community manager of Infinity Ward back in the day, and during Modern Warfare 2's life cycle, the original Infinity Ward staff had a mass exodus from Activision. Like, literally half the studio left and formed Respawn Entertainment to make the Titanfall series and then eventually Apex Legends, right? That came from the original Infinity Ward staff. The other half of the staff was left there to basically just try to keep the game afloat up until the next game came out, which of course would wind up being the original Black Ops. But that being said, Robert Bowling, right, the community manager, he listened to the community, listened to all the feedback, and Modern Warfare 2 had so many problems. One Man Army Danger Close is probably the top one for a lot of people. So he compiled an entire list that he posted on Twitter, like, again, like freaking 15 years ago, wherever it's been, and talked about these things that he was hoping to get changed. Like, he would take these things to the developers and like, this is what the community wants to change. This is what I think we should change. This should happen. And then nothing ever ended up happening. But on Robert Bowling's list of things to change were One-Man Army noob tubes, make it so One-Man Army does not replenish grenade launchers, make it so Scavenger does not replenish explosives like claymores and noob tubes and stuff like that. He wanted to fix a number of the broken red dot sights in the game. If you guys don't know, like, some red dot sights were straight up misaligned, and like, I think the FAL red dot might have been one of them, where you would like walk up to a wall, you'd aim at the wall and you'd shoot right where the red dot was, and the bullet would not go where the dot said it should. Like, it was off center. The suppressor on like the M249 saw and the M9 pistol, those weapons would just not work with suppressors. Like, if you fired your gun with a suppressor, you'd still show up on the map. So there's a bunch of these like little quirks and then some massive balance problems as well. And I honestly feel as though that at this day and age, a proper whole cloth faithful remaster of Modern Warfare 2, similar to what they did initially with Modern Warfare Remastered with COD 4, it would die in a week. Man, it'd be so bad. Like, if you thought like One-Man Army tubes were a problem in 2010, imagine being One-Man Army tubed in 2023 by CDL skins. The new meta would be jump shotting around corners with your CDL skin using your paid noob tuber bundle and One-Man Armying people. Like, that, it would be so bad. Like, as soon as people got high enough level, at this day and age especially, to unlock One-Man Army, that's all the game would be. It would devolve so badly. So if they were to remaster the original Modern Warfare 2, they would have to nerf certain aspects of it and change certain aspects of it. I'm not calling for, I'm trying to think of some bad guns. I'm not calling for the Uzi or whatever to become meta. I'm not calling for the UMP to get nerfed. I'm not calling for the ACR to get nerfed or anything like that. No, I'm talking like literally they need to fix One-Man Army and then fix Scavenger replenishing grenade launchers, like change those aspects of it, and then maybe fix like the broken red dot sights and the broken suppressors. Then it would be good. Just small changes, like small changes that would make the game better, because Modern Warfare 2, like as it is right now, like the same game you can pop into your Xbox 360 and play, it would just die so quickly because the community would absolutely ruin it. So yeah, certain games I think would do well with a remaster. Certain games I don't think they would unless they were to make some changes. But you know how people are, man. They don't want changes. They're like, don't mess with the formula. People love Modern Warfare 2. They love it for what it is. But for me, like, I don't even think I'd play the game if they didn't nerf those noob tubes, because that would just not be fun. And if you never played the game, you may think I'm like overselling or over exaggerating it. I'm fucking not. The next and final question is going to be coming in from Dominic, who writes, "Dear Nero, how would you feel about them possibly making Advanced Warfare 2 or taking a shot at another futuristic title?" I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. I am okay with the idea of them exploring future spaces, like in the COD series. Like, if they want to make a more like futuristic-esque game, that's cool. I'm fine with that. just keep the boots on the ground. I don't want wall running. I don't want exosuits. I don't want double jumping. That's just me. I don't think... I feel like the advanced movement stage of COD was like the awkward teenage phase of the COD series, and I'm glad that it's over. I'm glad that COD went through puberty and made it out on the other side. But yeah, I don't want exosuits or advanced movement or wall running ever again. I mean, maybe in short bursts, like, you know, if they were to add like some sort of weird mechanic like Ruin's grapple gun, like we had in Black Ops 4, that's fine. You know, a thing like that now and then, that's fine. But just like straight up wall running, straight up double jumping, straight up exosuits, no thank you. The idea of a futuristic setting where they can take some liberties as to what's real and what's not and what's actually possible, similar to Black Ops 2, I'm cool with that. Just keep those boots on the ground and I'll be happy. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be the end of this little Q&A here. I'm looking at the audio. It's going to be roughly a 25-minute video, give or take. So, yeah. I don't know. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I haven't done a Q&A like this in a while. If this video, I'm not usually this YouTuber, but if this video gets like 2,000 likes, we'll do another Q&A on Wednesday, but next Wednesday. But it's one of those things where like I don't want to be pumping out like 30-minute Q&As if no one cares. I know that sounds weird, but like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're a content creator and you're putting out content that you know people don't want to watch, it's like, oh, why are you doing it then? You know, and I'm sure some of you are going to really enjoy the Q&As. But it's more like what's best for everybody, that kind of a thing. Could my time have been better spent doing a different kind of a video, for example? So if we get to like 2,000 likes on this video, there you go. We'll do another Q&A next week. And yeah, so hope you guys all enjoyed this. If you did, consider dropping me a like, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.